I used to live alone in a one-story house on the edge of town. It wasn't much, but it was quiet, peaceful, until the knocking started. It began on a Tuesday night, rain against the windows, wind humming through the trees. And then, 3 knocks at my front door. I checked the peephole. Nothing. Just rain. No shadows, no footsteps. I opened the door anyway. Empty. As I closed it, I heard 3 more knocks, this time from the back door. 3 knocks, slightly louder, lower tone. I froze. The backyard was fenced. Nobody could have gotten there that fast. I called out, "Hello?" No answer. Just the rain. Rain fades, replaced by low static hum. I told myself it was some prank. Neighborhood kids. I locked both doors and went to bed. Midnight. Clock ticking sound. At 2:46 a.m. I woke up again. No noise, just a feeling, like something was standing at the edge of the bed. Then came the knocking again. 3 knocks. From the hallway this time. Knock, 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 echoing from inside. I turned on the lamp. Empty hallway. But the sound was moving. Knocking from the walls, then the ceiling, then directly above me. Creaking wood, slow footsteps overhead. I didn't even breathe. There was no attic, just roof. Pause. I whispered, "Who's there?" And I swear, someone whispered back. Very faint female whisper. "Don't answer the second knock." The next day. Narrator, shaken, faster. I didn't go to work, didn't sleep. All day I kept hearing things, faint tapping, floorboards shifting, whispers that stopped when I turned. By evening I was exhausted, and then, right as the sun set, pause, silence. 3 knocks. At the door again. Knock, knock, knock. Slower, heavier. I looked through the peephole, and this time, someone was there. A man, soaked in rain, head tilted, smiling. Low, crackling ambience. He raised his hand and knocked again. Knock, 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 echoing. But the whisper echoed in my head. Don't answer the second knock. I didn't move. I just watched. His smile never changed. Then he leaned close to the door and whispered, "You heard her, didn't you?" Pause, silence. Escalation. He stayed there all night. I could hear his wet shoes shifting on the porch. Sometimes he'd hum. Sometimes he'd whisper my name. When the sun rose, he was gone. Wind through trees. I thought it was over, until I came home from work that evening and saw muddy footprints leading from my back door to my bedroom. Slow creaking floor sound, and on the wall above my bed, written in long, wet streaks, were the words, "You answered." Ending. Quiet heartbeat. That night I locked myself in the bathroom, sat against the door. At 3 a.m. there were 3 knocks again. Soft this time. Gentle, almost pleading. Knock, knock, knock. I didn't move. Pause, silence. Then 3 more knocks. Second set, louder, urgent. The second knock. Whisper tone. Don't answer while door creak sound. I didn't open it, but the sound moved closer to the mirror. Glass rattle. And when I looked up, there was someone standing behind me. Long silence, low reverb hum. Fade out. Static slowly rises, then cuts abruptly to silence. Narrator, whisper. If you ever hear 3 knocks, don't answer the second one. Fade to silence.
There's a rule I have when I move into a new apartment. Always sleep there the first night, no matter how creepy it feels. You get used to the sounds faster that way. When I moved into the old brownstone on Franklin Avenue, I told myself the same thing. It was a second-floor studio, small, dusty, cheap. The landlord said it had been empty for years. Renovation delays, he said. But the air smelled like mold and copper. That night, after unpacking a few boxes, I noticed scratches on the walls. Thin, frantic, like someone had tried to carve words, but stopped halfway. At around 2:13 in the morning, I woke up. The heater had kicked in. I thought that's what woke me, until I realized I could hear whispering.
The air felt heavy.
At first, I thought it was the pipes,
almost
but it wasn't
alive.
groaning or hissing. It was rhythmic, like speech, muffled through thick walls. I pressed my ear against the plaster. There it was, soft, frantic, a woman's voice, repeating something, over and over. "He's still here." I froze. The apartment next door was empty. The landlord told me that himself. I leaned closer. The whispering stopped. Then came a slow knock from inside the wall. I didn't sleep again that night. In the morning, I told myself it was a dream. Work distracted me. When I came home, there was a package at my door. No return address. Inside, an old cassette tape, unmarked. I borrowed a player from a coworker and pressed play. "He's still here. He never left. Don't listen to the walls. He likes when you listen." I sat there, heart hammering, because I knew that voice came from this apartment. That night, I didn't sleep in the bed. I stayed on the couch, lights on. At 3 a.m., the whispering came back. Only this time it wasn't in the walls. It was behind me. The cassette player had turned.
2 weeks later, I went back for closure, told myself I'd imagined everything. The brownstone was boarded up, but as I stood on the street, I saw movement in the window of my old unit. Glass creak, faint female sob. A woman's face, pale, eyes wide, pressed against the glass, and next to her, a hand on her shoulder. Pause, silence. I turned and left. That night, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. One new voicemail. Static hiss. I pressed play. Whisper tone. "He's still here. And now, so are you." Pause, silence, end with low static fade.